video. What up, peeps? How you doing, FB famo? It's your boy Lavelle. That's my boy AP. You know we doing what, number 9, I think it is?
This is episode 9.
Episode 999, make it shine. It's number 9, man, on a beautiful day out here in Arizona, you know what I'm saying? Welcome to the B&W show. And we're going to definitely get it crack off, keep the energy rolling in. You know, it's a beautiful day outside. Sometimes you look out, just want to play. Right. You know, when you're daydreaming at work, you just want to play.
Yep.
You know, you sit there looking at the computer, look outside, look back at the computer, look outside again. And then you just stay outside. That's when you just quit your job and just go get something outside, you know. But that's another story for another time. So, sure. You know, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to the reins. Let the captain of the ship go ahead and get down. Go ahead, AP. Talk to the people, man.
So welcome to another episode of the greatest show ever.
Yes, sir.
This show, I bet you can't guess what we're going to talk about.
Nope.
Wrong. Pay up.
Yep.
Gambling.
Yep.
And the different forms thereof.
Put your bets down, parlay.
So personally, I'm not a big gambler myself. When I do, it's usually the craps, baccarat, or the horses.
Don't know how to play none of those.
Craps is actually really easy to play if you have good dealers.
Yeah.
You got to find good dealers.
Not the dice, it's the dealers.
Yeah, it's all about the dealers.
Oh, okay.
They will tell you how to bet.
I thought it was in the shaky shake, baby. I thought it was in the shaky shake.
Yeah, they'll tell you how to bet. And as long as you're tipping them, they'll tell you how to bet all day long, and you will win.
All day long. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. All right.
It's up to the chance bets. If they won't tell you the chance bets, that's up to you. But they'll tell you bet the line, pay the no pass, put the come, pay the big numbers. Play the horn. Bet the horn's on you. The C and the N, that's on you. But they'll tell you where and how much to make sure you get full value for your dollar.
Gotcha.
If I know it pays 5 to 7, you won't put down an extra one. With that though, I usually play when I go to Vegas. When I gamble, gambling is all about the free booze.
Right.
So that's why I generally don't go to Indian casinos because they don't. You have to still buy your booze.
Right.
That makes no sense to me.
Nah, it doesn't. To
right.
Me.
So, but I have, for those of you that are like me who like the free booze when you gamble, I have found the cheapest way to get the free drinks in Vegas.
Well, do tell the secret now.
Because you do know, despite the free drinks, they're not free drinks.
Right.
Right. So let's say you're playing. What's your game? 21.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're playing 21. How many hands do you go through in say 10, 20 minutes?
You can go through a couple.
Okay.
You can go through a couple.
And the cheap tables are what? $5. $5 tables, right?
Yeah, 5, 10.
You win some, you lose some, right? Your money is exchanging hands. Your chips go down, chips come up, chips go down, chips come up, right?
I mean, $60 can go in 2 minutes.
Right. Exactly.
Less than that.
Exactly. And when the waitress comes around, you place your bet.
Yeah. She
has a whole bunch of tables to sit, right?
Right.
So you place your order with the waitress.
Yeah.
She takes probably 20, 30 minutes to get your drink back to you. Mm-hmm. And then you tip her $1.
Right.
Right? So you played all that money. You played all that money for that one free drink.
Right.
Okay. Now that's 21. That's probably one of the more popular games, so there's probably a couple waitresses in that section. Mm-hmm. Now let's go, I play the penny slots. Okay. Or the nickel slots, right?
Right.
Okay. Let's go there. Okay. So you go to the penny slots. There's going to be one waitress for a 20-acre section because you're playing the penny slots.
Right.
There's going to be a huge amount of slots that she's going to be managing.
Working. Right.
So to get your free drink back to you, it's going to take probably a good 35 minutes.
Right.
Right. And you're playing. You're playing penny slots, but it's like 100 pennies at a time. 1,000 pennies at a time, that's $1 to $10.
Right.
You're still, you're playing penny slots, but you're still spending $1 to $10. A spin. And how many spins are going in that 20 minute time?
Right.
Right? So that's still a lot of money you're throwing down there in those penny slots for that free drink.
So they taxing it back in the slot machines.
Correct.
We paying through the slot machines, people.
Correct. Now, the horses.
Okay.
You find
the horse
a sports book. You find a sports book that has the sit-down horse races.
Yeah,
right?
Those are quite common now.
Yeah.
The luxury chairs and the setup and everything.
Right.
Give this little quiet little area.
Right, and you do this. You do this at the beginning of the day, like at your time when you're ready. You had your breakfast and you're ready to go out. You're not quite ready to go full board.
Right.
Right, and you want your time to relax. Mm-hmm. Go to the horse betting.
Okay.
Okay. Minimum horse bet is $2. $2. A horse race, generally from when you place the bet to when the horse race begins and ends, it's about 15 to 20 minutes for one horse race.
Damn.
For a $2 bet. Now, generally, there's one waitress for that sports book area and maybe a couple slot machines and tables just on the outside.
Right.
And there's very few people sit in that area.
Yeah, that's true.
You will see that waitress in that 15 to 20 minute time. You will see that waitress 3 times. Mm-hmm. Guaranteed, you will see that waitress 3 times.
We gonna double, triple up on them drinks.
Yep. You spend, and as long as you have that ticket in your hand, that $2 ticket in your hand, and you're sitting there watching, she will come around to you. You place your order. You give her your $1 as a tip, and you will get 3 drinks for $5.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you win, you make money. If you lose, you get 5 free. You get 3 drinks.
You know what I'm saying? 3 for 5. 3 for 5.
You do that until you're ready to get going, and you got a nice crisp buzz going on.
Right.
The rest of the time, you can play, and that 20 minutes between drinks is fine.
And it fizzled out.
Right.
Balanced
because
out.
yeah. So that's my secret to y'all. That's how you get your cheapest free drinks in Vegas.
So you go to the horse section first.
Yep.
You go there about 15 minutes. You're going to see that chick a couple times. Go ahead and put a couple dollars down on 2 races, 2-3 races. At that time, go ahead and have about 2-3 drinks.
That's right.
After the races in, them drinks in.
That's
then
right.
you go on to part 2, baby. See how that system goes? It's all a mythology to the game. It's just like shopping. You know, you go into one spot, you go into strong spots first. When you go shopping, you go to the strong aisle first. You know what I'm saying? Me, it's cereal, oatmeal, and vegetables. That's where I go first. Everywhere else, I'm weak. You know, we gotta go get some pasta sauce. Okay, I'll find it eventually. I'll find it. You know, we gotta get some box stuff. I'll find it eventually after I ask the lady, what, 6A or 6B or 6C? How the hell you got a 6C? I don't even understand that. You got 2 sections to an aisle, but now you got 4 sections to an aisle because A and B are supposedly up front and C and D are supposedly in the second portion of the aisle because there's a divider of that main aisle now. So now you have a split section and you go to the back. What the hell, man? It's a 6D. 6D? Is this an airline or some shit?
Yeah.
What the hell, man? It's just, man, it's sophistication of the grocery store is something else, man. But, you know, it's all a mythology, people. That's how you approach the game. It's all a mythology.
That's right. You don't gamble unless you can get ahead.
That's
you get
right.
ahead with your free drinks.
That's right. You know, that's how we're gonna do it. So, you know, yeah. So that's a little simple little share technique. Me myself don't
we're gonna break down the main types of gambling, and then there's a main area of focus that we want to focus on with the fantasy and that kind of stuff. But I wanted to give you a brief history on the areas where you may or may not think what gambling is.
Right.
And then we're going to get into the areas where we're more interested in, and then that way you'll have the whole complexity of our show. So, speaking of Vegas, so just going into the history of things. Mm-hmm. So Vegas actually started in 1931.
Yep.
That's when it started. And then Atlantic City in 1976. So that's where the 2 cities began. Of course, Vegas started the whole state of Nevada to sprout out and have legalized gaming throughout the state. Atlantic City is the only on-land legal U.S. gambling. Any place else like, Indian casino is not U.S. gambling because Indians, it's on sovereign nations. They are sovereign from the United States, so they don't pay taxes and follow the same rules and regulations. But there are other areas like gambling boats on the Mississippi. I think Detroit, or not Detroit, or Chicago has game boats on the lake. I mean, because it's not on U.S. soil, it's U.S. waters. It's different. So that's what that is.
So here's a trivia question though, because we was just there. The first casino in Vegas. Do you know what it was?
I think it was either like the Sands or something with the Sands.
Cause see, I thought it was like a Harris. I really did. I thought it was like a Harris or something.
Sands.
But cause I just wanted to look it up, so all that we don't know. The first casino in Vegas was it was a club. It was
Pearl Dice
Club, 1931. Currently, the strip was the El Rancho Vegas Strip.
Yeah, so that's the current strip. So,
right.
So Paradise was on
Paradise,
the old strip,
1931.
Yep.
That's some old school right there. So that was just a trivia thing for the day. Paradise Club, first casino in Vegas, 1931. Yep.
So, but prior to Vegas, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with this bingo.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Hey, that's the shit, man.
Yeah. So that actually started off as a carnival game in 1929. That's where it kind of got started. It has its own made up history prior to being a carnival game, but like the guy who actually took it, he turned it into a carnival game. And at that time, it was actually called Beano because they would use beans to mark their places on the cards. But history of it, of how it became bingo, is either somebody missaid rather than Beano, they said bingo, or they changed it to bingo because it sounds more like a bell ringing. Bingo,
Got you. Bingo, 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 bingo.
And then,
bingo.
so one of the more
it's catchy too.
So one of the more notable, we were just talking about it, the horses.
Right.
So horse racing, there's different forms. Of course, there's the old school chariot races, which is turned into like the buggy car races, and then there's now the modern horse racing is what you're jockey with on the track, but it actually got its start way back when man and horse first began.
Right.
It actually in 638 BC, that's before Christ, so BC, it actually was an Olympic sport for the ancient Greeks.
Right.
So that's how far back horse racing goes.
Huh.
Current modern horse racing actually began in the 12th century England. That's when they were coming back from the Crusades, and the discovery of the Arab horse, which is the smaller, faster breed of horse, but more. They're more temperamental and more fragile because they're smaller stature.
Right.
But they're a lot quicker. So they would grab up their Arab horses, and nobles would have their best riders race them, and that's became the thing. And it actually didn't make its way into America until after the Civil War, and that's when the American Stud Book began in 1868. And for those who don't know, the American Stud Book is the book that records champions for breeding and to follow the breed lines, such as like Secretary and Seabiscuit and Man of War, such as that. So those go back in the bloodline, but they won't go way back any further than 1868. Okay, so next is the area that we're gonna be focused on a bit more. There's the NCAA brackets, so that's big right now.
I had a horse question for you.
Okay, yeah.
Because you profound with your horses, right?
Yeah, I like horses.
I'm gonna read these top 10 horses, okay?
Yeah.
Top 10 horses of all time.
Okay.
I want you to let me know how many others top 10 are you familiar with,
okay.
All right? So we got the first one is Kinsem, Kinsem. Horse is 54-0, okay? Yep. Second one is Black Caviar, 25-0, all right? Third one, Spectacular Bid,
Okay.
26-2-1. Zenyatta,
Yep.
19-1.
Yep.
Kelso, 39-12-2. Affirmed,
Yep.
22-5-1. Citation,
Yep.
32-10-2.
Yep.
Seattle Slew,
Damn right.
14-2-0. Man of War, 20-1-0. And then Secretariat,
Yep.
16-3-1.
Yeah, Secretariat is considered one of the greatest horses of all time. If Guardians is number one.
Yep.
But some people will argue between Secretariat and Man of War. Slew's generally always third. I know Slew. Affirm, Citation, kind of go back and forth.
And they're all from different eras.
Right, of course.
So definitely from different eras. So who's that? Shout out to Lisa there. Liza, do apologize. Shout out to you. And Zenyatta.
Yeah.
Zenyatta. So out of those 10, how many were you familiar with? About 5 of them?
Probably 7.
It's funny because it sort of jumped out at me because the reason that we are become so familiar with horse racing,
right,
horses in general, we have to go back to what we say in one of our previous shows is Hollywood.
Right.
The introduction to Hollywood, because let's face it, Secretariat,
right,
Academy Award movie. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
it
was a good movie. Is what I'm saying. I don't know if it actually won an Academy Award, but it was a good movie.
Okay.
When there's not too many horse movies out there.
Right.
But Secretariat, Seattle Slew, Citation, I only know about those because of the documentaries that you do see in it. Or because of the Kentucky Derby gets so big, or the Preakness now gets so big.
Well, you got the 3. So you got
horses.
the Derby, the Preakness, and the other one.
Yep.
I always forget the other one. It's a Triple Crown.
Right.
The American Triple Crown.
Right.
There's also a British Triple Crown.
Right.
It's not the Breeders' Cup because the Breeders' Cup is for older horses.
Right.
Baltimore is Kentucky, Baltimore, and New York,
we're gonna pull it up because it's right down right with you. I know it's
Triple Crown Thoroughbred, Kentucky Derby, Preakness, and there's one more.
Pimlico.
No, that's the track. Go to U.S. Triple Crown. Click on that one. There you go. Belmont. Thank you.
Belmont.
Thank you, Belmont.
Booyah.
I knew it was New York.
There we go. So with those 3 though, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. So that was just my side case. I just wanted to spill out, with the top 10.
I do like to point out for all your horse enthusiasts out there, or think your horse enthusiasts out there based on Hollywood, Seabiscuit is not on that list because Seabiscuit was a made-up Hollywood story. It was a great horse, but not as great as
it wasn't based off a real horse himself.
No, it was. It just wasn't as great as it was made out to be in the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Real life was
underrated. Yes. Overrated now because of the movie. Yes.
Got you.
Okay.
Secretariat, you say?
Oh, Secretariat.
More true to life.
Yeah, Secretariat.
Yeah.
Secretariat is a phenomenal horse. Phenomenal horse.
Yeah. It is.
And another horse that probably lost out because it broke his leg was the one that it won. It was the next super horse, Barbaro.
Oh.
Barbaro would have been the next super horse had it not broke his leg during the Preakness.
Oh, damn. Barbaro.
Which,
all black?
No, he was a chestnut.
Okay.
He was a chestnut.
Okay.
So
anyways,
so next, so we got the NCAA bracket, which Liza is. She's close on her bracket apparently.
Is she? How close, Liza? 99 percentile or the 98 percentile? Or be honest. Did you really predict that
Hi, baby.
Loyola Chicago will really be where they were? Did you really predict that Arizona would lose by Buffalo?
Right.
Did you really predict that Virginia would get beat by UMBC? Be honest. I did.
I don't think.
But I sure did predict the last Final Four right. You know when they say, "Oh, your bracket's busted." Oh, you can still play in the second round. Yeah, I'm 99 percentile on all them right picks. You know, I had the draft right. I had everything right. They were just in the wrong position. You know, they just. You know, but all my picks were correct. They were just placed wrong. So, you know, I'm trying to work that out with the NAACP right now in my bracket to get everything back, you know. Yep. But all in all, man, it's been a blowout. It's been a
Cinderella year.
It has been. Yeah. It has been. I mean, that's one of the reasons why we just get to thinking to why did we do this? Why did we pick this subject? And I'm going to tell you why. Because about a week and a half ago, it was when Arizona lost. There were 17.3 million brackets, according to ESPN. ESPN is ESPN. So according to ESPN, there were 17.3 million brackets before the Arizona loss. Once that Arizona loss took place, there were 10,000 brackets left still standing. When you go from 17.3 million down to 10,000 brackets, it makes you wonder, how big did Vegas really come up this year? You know, immediately what I started thinking was like, wow, big money gone. Not to mention big money made. Vegas high. The house, they won.
They won.
They
raked in some money.
Big time. Because when you look and say, okay, Arizona's going to lose, when majority of the country picked Arizona to go to at least the Sweet 16 or and let alone the 8, and then okay, there was at least 40% of the people out here was saying, oh, Arizona gonna get to the Final Four this year just based on them 2 7-footers, but for some reason they don't show up. I don't know why. It's sort of like looking for birds in the sky in Arizona when it's 120 degrees outside. You just don't see shit flying around.
No, you don't.
Oh no, you don't. Nor did you see Arizona's 2 7-footers when the big game came. No. Where were they at?
Where were they?
Crickets.
Maybe they thought the game was in Buffalo.
Man. And they do that shit every year, man. Every year, Arizona will let you down. Blow people out the whole year. Then it comes to the big dance. You're like, y'all not Showtime players. He's not Showtime players. I don't know why. And then you look and say, Virginia. Oh, my God. Virginia's defense was tighter than elastic on the fat lady's draws. I don't know what happened. UMBC, University of Maryland, Baltimore County, I guess they was a little bit tougher when it came to the heart, you know, because they went ahead and they shoved Arizona around. They shoved them around, but then UMBC lost that one game. Right. That's another thing that pisses me off, because a lot of times when the lower seed gets that big upset, 9 out of 10s, their next game, they're going to lose. It's like they were so much on a high to beat that number 1 seed. That was their whole tournament right there. Anything after that, they was like, oh, we lost, but hell yeah, we beat Virginia. Okay. All right. What's that going to do?
Right.
What's that going to do? Right. But because of the upside down, the topsy-turvy of this year, and when I seen that, 17.3 to 10,000 brackets, whoa, it got me just thinking about where's this money, you know, where's who's coming up and who's making out to be the fat rat. So that's how we got onto the gambling with this show here, was just basically because of this March Madness bracket and just the topsy-turvy of it, the craziness of it, which is going to continue today.
Yeah. So now you're, with Velle's explanation, you probably wondering, well, where the hell did NCAA brackets get started? Let me tell you. Actually, they got started, get this, in 1977.
Really? 77?
77.
You would think this would be before 77.
I think it would be after.
Because you got to think, we have the Luau Center 68 UCLA, right?
Right. So the NCAA championships were going on.
Well, yeah, but
the bracketing, where you're betting on the brackets.
Oh, it was created in 77.
77.
Wow.
Yeah, actually in Staten Island.
Okay.
That's New York.
Staten Island, New York.
In a little club called Jody's Forest Club, started by the owner, Jody Haggerty.
I'm with you on that, Liza.
So what he would just do would just say, hey, who do you think think's going to win this game?
Right.
You know, and people, whoever would say, hey, I bet blah blah blah, and it was $10 a bet, for up to 80 people, and then the winner won $888 or whatever, something like that.
So there you go. March Madness, the bracket was founded on gambling.
That's right.
It was founded on gambling.
So he decided just to take it to the next level, and boom, 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 and it was within I think they said within 5 years it was $1 million industry just for him.
5 years.
Yep.
5 years.
Next, so with that comes of course the regular sports betting, where you're just betting. I think the Cubs are going to beat the A's this game. Right. Or I think the Redskins are going to take out Dallas Cowboys this game. Right. So that actually. Sports betting has been around as long as sports has been around. You know, you had people in the Coliseum betting on which gladiator were going to die.
Yep. The Roman games first started.
Yep. So
I bet you 2 pesos. I bet you a loaf of bread.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to ride that chariot faster than him.
Right.
Or he's going to win the chariot race.
Exactly.
Or he's going to win the Spartan race.
Right.
He's going to win faster.
So, but it really gained ground around the 19th century. Thanks to horse racing, right? So it's been one of those things where you can go to Vegas and you can bet. You can bet on a single game. You can actually bet on who's going to lose. You can bet.
Right.
You can bet on the over under. It doesn't matter who wins or loses. You're just betting on the over under.
Yep.
You're betting on a trifecta, which you're betting 3 games, or you can bet on a box, which you're betting on a number of games, which increases your odds and increases your payout. So there's all sorts of that. So with that, on top of those sports bets, there's also another thing called prop bets.
Yeah.
So prop bets are anything that surrounds the sport game or the sports, but not necessarily directly related based on the sport. So, for example, this last Super Bowl, you could place a bet for how long Lady Gaga was going to hold the last note of the national anthem. Because as you know, because of Whitney Houston, God bless her, I think she did probably one of the best national anthem singing of all time. But because of her, everybody now thinks that they have to extend that last note of the national anthem.
See, everybody don't have the Whitney Houston pipes. Because when she sing, and the bottom jaw goes,
So now you can bet how long the last note of the national anthem is going to be held.
That's crazy.
And if you did, this last national anthem, it was 2.4 seconds.
That's crazy.
So go collect your bets.
That's crazy.
You can also bet on what color the Gatorade is going to be for the Gatorade dump.
Oh yes, that's right.
And then who's going to be named MVP?
Did they say who's going to be the one saying I'm going to Disneyland?
No, because that's always predetermined. So because there's previous knowledge of who's going to, so that, like, for example, you can't bet on WWE because it's already predetermined.
Right.
It may be difficult to find out who's going to be, but it's already predetermined, and Vegas generally stays away from those kind of bets.
Right. So, picking to see Tom Brady when they were down by, 23? So picking to see whether he's coming, picking to see how many touchdowns being scored in the third quarter versus the fourth quarter would be an example of prop betting.
Correct.
There you go, people.
Yeah. Who's gonna catch the first interception?
Right.
Who's gonna make the first touchdown? Is there gonna be a streaker on the field? Yes, you can bet. Is there gonna be a streaker during the game?
Right. Normally there is one.
Yeah, some of the time.
I mean, nowadays, are they really streaking in because they're all clothes on?
Yeah.
So, what we call them, runners? Because they
field
do be
jumpers,
streaking across the field. They're just not booty naked, but just curious.
Yeah.
So, I'll be a game sprinter.
Yeah, something like that. So, true and funny story on that one. I don't know if you remember back in, I want to say it was the...
Yeah, Whitney Star Spangled Banner. She said Whitney Star Spangled Banner.
Yeah.
Is her, this is a question.
Yeah.
What's the song that she sings? And I, whatever.
I Will Always Love You.
That one. Is that song, the way she hold that note, better than how she sung the Star Spangled Banner? Now, there was an actual talk about which song did she sing better because both of them were so top-notch in the way that she strang out the notes, the lungs, the pipes.
I personally am biased on that.
Okay.
I would say the national anthem because I actually like the Dolly Parton version of I Will Always Love You better than Whitney Houston.
Oh, I haven't heard the Dolly Parton version.
Yeah.
She string out them notes too?
No, it's much different.
Oh, more country?
It's more sultry.
Oh, okay.
Because Dolly, despite her Tennessee accent, it actually has a very sultry singing voice.
Okay.
So it's actually more sultry.
Dolly always do got a nice, soft, subtle voice.
Yeah, I always like.
Mm-hmm.
And
we're not gonna talk
if you're used to the Whitney Houston version and you really like the Whitney Houston version, you may not like the Dolly Parton version because it is extremely different.
How about Fergie?
Yeah, Fergie.
You fired. She said how about Fergie. Let's Fergie pee on herself.
I wonder if there's a bet.
What the hell?
If anybody bet that Fergie's gonna pee her pants.
Man, when Fergie sang that shit, come on, America. When Fergie sang the national anthem, was you just like, what? Like my mouth was seriously like this. I was like, okay, what Fergie got some old crazy ass shit. When she started singing, I was like, I had to close my mouth, man. I was like, what the hell?
That's it.
What?
When you gotta go, you gotta go.
Was she?
Just don't squeeze the Charmin.
Man, I was like, is she high? Is she over on Percocets or something? Like, was she pausing between each note to get the violin and to hear the music sink into rhythm?
Just when you thought she was dancing, she was just pee-pee dancing.
Oh, right. That's the pee-pee dance. I got the pee-pee dance. I was like, yo, man, but enough. Like, see, you had to say Fergie. That's going to be, you know, yeah, thank you. You know,
but you know,
audience out there.
You know, that's how country line dancing got started, right?
It was a pee-pee dance?
The pee-pee. So it was the country bar. So country bars back in the day used to be a little bit smaller. But,
right.
You know, and then in the bars, you know, there's the bathrooms.
Right.
But there's always like one or two stalls or whatever. So that, especially the ladies' bathroom. So there's always a line.
Right.
Outside the door.
Right.
You know? And somebody was taking so long in there that the ladies standing in line just started.
Yeah, that's I was gonna say. That's how that two-step came about. That's that two-step.
Yeah, they started doing it to music, and like, hey, we just make this a dance.
And you breathe on each step just to whoo.
There you go.
Whoo, I gotta go.
There you go. First line dance. Pee-pee dance.
That's the pee-pee dance. So, I don't know, we easily got sidetracked. You know, sometimes our ADHD kick in, but, you know what I'm saying, we'll bend wrong back around on the path. So, you know, but we just got sidetracked with Fergie. Damn Fergie. I hope she don't ever need to do any type of national introductory song to nobody again unless she went to the studio and recorded it, mastered it, filtered it out, and then put it on the shelf. Because that way we know it's going to be a good product. Okay, so we're going to continue on. Let's go back to where we were.
All right. So coming back around, talking about sports betting.
Right.
So my partner in crime here, he come up with some numbers just to let you know how profitable this betting really is.
That's that DJ Khaled coming in with the horn. It's just, man, I just thought it was just, you know, you got to bear with me because I'm a geek phase right now, so we're going to just be jumping all over. That's what we're going to do, you know, because like a little kid and I'm in a candy store, so I just jumped all over to things I've seen. So one thing about, let's see, we're just going to talk about this in two different industries. New York, Vegas. Two different industries, okay? Both balling, all right? So right now we're going to focus on New York. We're going to talk about New York right now, okay? Now, as of New York numbers for 2017, New York alone, $7.22 billion as far as fantasy sports, not gambling, fantasy sports. $7.22 billion in fantasy sports alone. Okay, Now, let's really think about this fantasy game and really think about what all a fantasy game entails. Mm-hmm. You have your guys, you have your groups, you have your barbecues, you have your parties, you have your outings, you have your trips to a draft party somewhere else in a different location. So every time there's a fantasy league jumping off, it has some type of direct connect back into the economical structure in our community. Mm-hmm. For instance, I'm going to break this down for you. I never even thought about this as well. So, we have over $1 billion spent annually for activities and goods, including draft parties, Sunday pizza deliveries, and fantasy memorabilia. So that's all these little parties you go to. You go to Hooter draft parties, Old Chicago draft parties. You got golf trips that you go to some resort, and then you have a draft party there. All of that kicks in. You got draft parties where they're going to auction off memorabilia. All of that kicks in. It's crazy shit, man. It's crazy shit. And then out of all of that, what is the number one thing that you have at draft parties? Alcohol and food.
Right. Alcohol
and food. So you also have between that, you have 57% have league-wide outside draft parties. So 57% of us, man, we throw some draft party at a park. You know what I'm saying? We have, what we say, 44% of us golf outings go out to do a draft party at a golf resort or something. So the whole world is in this world. You have this fantasy world, then within the fantasy world, you have another world. You have different cliques and how they want to do their fantasy league setups, how they want to celebrate their fantasy league season. You have people that go out and get these trophies. You know what I'm saying? What was that? Was it the Schwarmer? Was it with the show? The fantasy league show.
Oh yeah, I didn't watch that one.
Oh man, classic show, man.
The league.
The league. You know what I'm saying? So you had 68% of us fantasy football loving people. We'll just say sports fanatics. We would go out and we would create these own trophies, to keep within our own league. So within our own league, we may have the tattoo club, where you have the bet you go get an ugly loser tattoo, what it may be. Those different things, but how they have a direct attachment to the community. So you figure Papa John's is balling, Domino's is balling, Pizza Hut is balling when it comes to delivering these things. Hell, Subway, Jimmy John's.
Unless you like real pizza, then you go to Ray's.
There you go. Balling. You know what I'm saying? So I just thought that was fascinating, just alone, just how much money in New York, which this brings. But when you think about that, and we always see these, what are the major two? We see DraftKings and FanDuel. These are the major two gambling sites that we see. So when we look at them two, and they're under the DFS revenue, they're under the DFS revenue structure.
So they're owned by the same company. They're two different entities, DraftKings and FanDuel, but they're owned by the same company.
Under that one umbrella. Now, the New York Gaming Commission stated they rigged in more than $327 million. $327 million. Not across America. New York. Does that sink in yet? $327 million in one state. Off of one thing. Not all things combined. It's one thing. This is what they're bringing in. This is a $3.2 billion trade here they're handling. You see what I'm saying? Crazy amounts of money. So let's not say the money's not there. It's there. Yep. It's how are we allocating? How are we spending? Where are we pushing our money? What do we think is making the best of our money? Is it out here in the school systems? Is it out here in these streets? Fixing our infrastructure? No.
Yeah, and this isn't gambling. This is just fantasy sports. It's where you sit down on your couch and you go, I think this guy, I want these other guys on my team. Right? That's all it is.
And neither guy's paying to join that league.
Right.
I don't pay to join leagues.
I don't pay to join
I sign up and I have on average, 60? I have like 7 to 9 damn teams every season.
I do about 3.
I'm a fanatic with it.
But I do the free sites.
Right. And they're all free.
Uh-huh.
They're all free.
Uh-huh.
Now this is free. And if I was to pay for all these leagues, you gotta imagine what kind of dedication that one is showing to put their money up in 4 or 5 different leagues of fantasy, because after football, you got fantasy baseball jumping off. You have fantasy basketball jumping off.
So Val, what kind of people are involved in fantasy football?
Fan fanatics, I would say fan fanatics. We have gang gamblers.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Don't you have this as a breakdown sometimes?
We have the breakdown of the average fan. You want to go to the average fan breakdown? Oh, okay. We'll go to the average fan. We'll go.
I was trying to give you a segue. But
I got you.
Well.
But no, it was good because I was still stuck on this. I was still stuck on the Nevada going to. But
we finish this first.
But I said New York, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna go to Nevada. Okay, so because we love football, we chose the average breakdown of a fantasy football industry, the average person. Okay, so this is the target group. Okay, so I'm just going to spell out a couple things here. So from 2003 to 2009, there was a 270% increase. Okay, as far as 270% increase as far as the people that signed up to be a part of fantasy football. Okay, 2 times the total in 2009 from 2003. That's only 6 years, people. 2 times that total. All right. Now, out of that, now the age group taken into consideration is 12 and up. Okay. When I looked at 12, identified, I say, hey, wait a minute. If you would think common knowledge is, 18 to play in fantasy league. No. There's no money involved in particular leagues. There's free leagues.
There's free leagues.
So you can be under 18 and still be part of a fantasy league. Okay. So, but of that, 14% were Canadian. 19% was American. Okay, that's 12 and up. Now, we do have the breakdown of it. So, of our leagues, we have 20% male, 5% female, 18% adults, and 30% teens. Which, remember, I just went back and said 12 and up. You don't need to be 18 plus. Notice the teen category is 30%. 30%. So, there's a lot more following of our younger youth than what we might think of our older youth being the one that's controlling and steering this market, when really it's not. So when you thinking, we see all these shoe commercials and these soda pop commercials and all that, we're like, oh man, who they really talking to? Oh, they're addressing the youth. They're addressing the 12 and up. They're addressing the meat and potatoes of the market of where they want. That's their target audience, and they're addressing it on.
Because they're breeding them to become
the next.
The money spending adult to. When I get older and I get some money, rather than having to do this free site, I can go and spend money and now. Because
you have to think, the next Steph Curry, every kid right now thinks they're Steph Curry. So when they get to be Steph Curry or Russell Westbrook, they will then be in a position to steer the money, or would they be in a position to spend the money?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So when you break that down even further, you say 80% of the fantasy players are male, 20% women. 89% of them are Caucasian. 78% of the fantasy world are college degrees or more, which is really funny though, but 66% of the fantasy world players are 66% of them are full-time employed. So, which brought it to another point of what we said.
It tells me that 33% of you need to stop playing fantasy football.
Yeah.
Go get a goddamn job.
Get a job.
Get busy doing that.
That's right.
And then go play fantasy football.
That's right.
You get your job first.
Get your job first.
And then play fantasy football.
And then play.
Right.
Yeah.
Not the other way around. Don't play fantasy football.
Right.
And hope you get a job.
Right.
Get a job.
Get a job.
And hope you can play fantasy football.
Right. Get a job to pay for that league.
That's right.
Pay fantasy football.
Get a job,
play
the free league, and pay your own goddamn medical, pay your own goddamn insurance, and pay your own goddamn food and housing, okay?
Because when that's sad, when you say 66%, so why is it only 66% of fantasy players have full-time employment? Let's just break that down on what we don't see. Does that 33% mean that they're all college students?
No.
Does that 33% mean that they're all in between 12 and 18 to get that full-time job or a college student?
No, because being a full-time student is full-time employment.
Right. And go back, get your ass a job so you can play that fantasy football. Get a job first. They play NFL football. But now, what stuck out is that the average age of this census has been developed is from the average age of 34. Now, I was thinking it could be a little, like I said, about 27, 28. But then my man AP pointed out, said not necessarily. When you think about it, the average age is 12 and up going.
Yeah, it's from 12 up. So it's 12 up. Different median.
Right, so our median wouldn't be more of that lighter scale.
Right.
It more may slide more to, the middle or the middle of the left. So, which is very interesting of all of sports, football is the highest paid fantasy football.
Because it's the easiest to manage, I think.
I would say, yeah, true indeed. Because even those 9 teams, and we only got 3 games, games 3 times a week, because football has been extended on Thursday Night Football. It is going to start appearing next year on Fox instead of NFL Network, just to let you guys know. And Fox has already guaranteed, they've written out a contract for the next 10 years for Thursday Night Football. So it's going to be with us quite some time. So all the time we hear about, the games are nasty or, everybody gets hurt and stuff. Oh, that's a cracker bull. Because obviously focus groups and the TV ratings have already showed that even though we might complain about Thursday Night Football, there's a whole heap and hell of a lot of us watching Thursday Night Football. I, for one, am watching Thursday Night Football.
My only thing with Thursday Night Football, that it should be a Thanksgiving thing. It should go back to being Thanksgiving. That's the tradition. Right. But that's just because I'm a traditionalist. Right. I get off my lawn. Right. Type deal, But other than that, fine. There's not. Gotcha. Unless your team's playing, you got a short week, then that sucks. Right.
Or unless your team is 0-13 and they ever get a Thursday Night Football, I'm really looking for something else. I might tune in to Grey's Anatomy that night or something. But this year, it's a whole different story, babe. We got real players.
Right, it's a rebuilding year.
This cup is black and orange. Y'all haven't turned it around yet. We just gonna stay right here because we faceless until season 1 come around.
The rebuilding year.
I mean, we taking people's quarterbacks that we don't want for some damn reason, but hey, but since we're talking about football, to let you guys know, when we said numbers, it is an $18.6 billion industry. Fantasy football alone. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's football. What did you say? How about basketball? You know what? Basketball's not too far off, people. This one tell you right now, 2016, as of 2016, the Lavelle Sports gaming revenue total in basketball, $991.6 million. Mm-hmm. Shut your mouth, you say. I will shut my mouth, I say. And proceed to baseball. Because we can't leave out one without the other. Now, with my baseball stat, I did have something I found a little bit more intriguing with that because as I was going through my research and stumbling on, I actually found something that was just a little bit more of a breakdown. So
I did research. This is from UNLV.
Yep.
You don't know what that is? That's the University of Nevada, Las Vegas.
That's right.
If anybody's going to know about gaming and do research on gaming, it's the UNLV.
That's right.
University of Nevada, Las Vegas.
That's Sharkland.
That's right.
That's right. That's right. And this is coming from 1992, and I have numbers for 2017 for this breakdown. So I just want to let you know. In 1992, when this was started, 735. Let's just say 735 million is what brought in from football. Baseball was 509. Basketball was 509. Baseball was 433. All right, those are 3 majors. We're just going to take those. Now, that's 1992 numbers. We look at 2017 numbers. Football alone has jumped from 735 to 1.7. Football alone from 735 to 1.7
billion.
Basketball, 509 million to 1.4 billion.
Almost 1.5.
Right, really, almost 1.5 because it is 1.481.188, so we could say 1.5. We're going to go to baseball, 433 million to 1.1. Fifth 15 years. And this has jumped up almost 3 times what it started out. And that's in a 15-year span. It will not take another 15 years for these numbers to jump to what they're bringing in revenue rise. Inflation's going up. We are getting paid in a lot of areas around this country. We are. Some areas we're still not getting paid top dollar. Arizona, you need to pick it up. But anyway, that's a whole other story. But just if y'all don't know, Arizona does pay the lowest on the dollar in all the states of the Southwest and West Coast. But anyway, that's a different story. You know. But when you're looking at these numbers, in 5 years, these numbers will already been doubled. In 5 years.
Right. You got to understand the what I find to be the importance behind these years, 92 to 2007.
It's crazy.
So 1992 is right there when the internet was released, right? So the whole gaming industry was very different at that time.
Yeah, that's when Gore, you know, he went ahead and he was done inventing the internet.
Right, when he invented the internet, right?
Yeah,
right.
He let it out to the people. It was 1992. That's when, you know.
So that, you know, that's about that time frame.
Yeah.
Whereas 2017 is now, you know, it's the height of the internet now. You know, everything's online now. I think you can take a pee break at work online now.
Yeah.
That's how advanced the internet is.
Right.
You know, so that just tells you, in that 15-year span, to 1992, football was at $736 million. Then in 15 years, they jumped up $1 billion, $1 billion plus dollars in 15 years.
15 years.
And then, and now the internet's going to be even, they keep streamlining everything, how things going to work. The internet's now on my freaking phone. I'm going to be able to place a bet on my freaking phone wherever the hell I may roam.
Yep. Aruba, Jamaica, Cayman Islands, don't even matter.
That 15-year time frame, I would be shocked if it was half that amount of time to go up another $1 billion.
Right.
If it took that long. Not if it was that short. If it took that long to go 7.5 years to go up another $1 billion.
Right. Especially, I mean, advanced technology, everything's real time now. We want real time when we want to do this. Our phones are working faster than ever. Like I said, a smartphone will make you feel stupid in a day.
Yep.
Actually, it make you feel stupid in 2 minutes. So it just shows what we have things out there and means out here that we are calculating money, we are producing money, but where's all that money going? So it's interesting what you bring in. What are your operating expenses really? Really?
Yeah, this is money bringing in. It's not necessarily profit. So
right.
There's obviously operating expenses.
You gotta think like
still.
Well, even because when you look at the industry and you're saying, okay, well, we brought in $32 billion last year, or $327 million for FanDuel, and DraftKings.
Do that monthly breakdown real quick.
What are we?
Where's that monthly breakdown?
Oh, here. Oh,
this is a good one. This is a good one.
Okay.
So I'm gonna preface this. So those of you who think money is limited, that you just can't get enough money. This just shows you, this chart we're about to share with you, money is unlimited. You're just not reaching the right places.
Right.
You're not reaching for the unlimited yet. You're still reaching for the limited. This is unlimited. Okay. Unlimited tap money right here, what we're going to share with you.
So we're going to go with the lowest amount, the lowest month, which was July of 2017. This is for FanDuel and DraftKings. $164,487,825. $164 million. That's right, a month.
Right.
We're gonna go to
that's their lowest end.
Highest grossing month was actually, and it goes to November of 2016. Now I'm gonna tell you the reason why, because the way this calendar rolls is from September 2016 to August 2017, which means it's gonna go. The next year is gonna be September 2017 to August 2018. Right. So basically, they're tabloing that year because that's when the sports years kick off. And a lot of times, when September is when football kicks off. Right. And that's when all the bets and everything start being made. So that's why I started from September last year. So don't what I want to say.
Understand.
Misunderstand. The money is there. So this is November of last year, which is a money month, basically, when it comes to
November 2 years ago.
November 2016. They brought in, they being DraftKings and FanDuel, $419,302,327 or $419,302,327. Okay, that's 1 month. November last year or 2 years ago. So when the new stakes roll out,
right, and
you can imagine, would that be doubled?
And you all know why November, right?
Would that be tripled? You know.
Yeah, we all know why November, right? Because that's when seasons coming to an end, right? So all those who are up on their fantasy teams, they want to spend that extra money to get the extra trades, to get the extra, to build up their team to get that number one spot.
Yep.
Right. So
yes, sir.
It makes sense. And then plus
tournaments start off in basketball with a lot of tournaments. Basketball, college basketball has a lot of tournaments October, November that's set up for the March Madness in the following year.
Right, and then also you have the postseason football.
Yep.
So they'll be running their regular season football team and putting in the money to get ready for the postseason.
To get ready, yep.
Right, so you have all that combined, and then plus you got your fantasy hockey. Yes, there is fantasy hockey.
Yep.
Why? I don't know. But there's fantasy hockey. So you got all those combined to make up the month of November.
It's big money out there, people. Big money out there. And it's not going to go away. It's not going to bring in less money, because once technology, the introduction of technology allows the introduction of more various ways and avenues and alleys to create, to make more money, to funnel this money, you know. So my thing is, we need to just, once again, figure out a way for us to get a little bit of that shine. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just let me sit in the corner of your sunlight. I'm golden. That's all I need. You know, that's all I need. But it's just an industry that just surprises us. And, you know, we all know people that have placed bets. You know, if you don't, I'm sorry for you. That's just a small world you live in. If you ain't never placed a bet, I mean, I'm sorry for you. You never took a chance on anything in life. You might want to start taking some chances, because life gonna pass you by if you don't never take at least 8 chances.
All fine as long as you take it away.
So
I have a great story on that. Just to give my little slice of life, I guess, sort of deal. I was in Vegas with Pro-Am. At the time we were doing a conference setup. Me and Tony and a couple of other people, some of the salespeople.
You tell me about that?
I don't know.
I know that trip.
Maybe.
I don't know that experience. I know that trip.
So we were there. You know, I'm not a big gambler. I don't really partake. You know, unless there's free drinks involved.
Right.
But at the time, it was during World Cup soccer.
Okay. Which, by the way, starts June this year.
And coming up that week and that Saturday, because we got there on Thursday, and that Saturday, Italy was playing U.S.
Oh.
Right? And ESPN or ESPN came up and said, you know, U.S. hasn't beat Italy in 16 years. I said, fuck you, Italy. I went down to the sports book, but $20, I said, U.S. to beat Italy in soccer.
Right.
1-0 U.S. I won $200 that weekend.
There you go. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
All because of my American pride.
Right.
Fuck you, Italy.
Fuck you, Italy. Was that the World Cup when the French dude went back and headbutted old boy?
I don't remember.
Hey, man.
That's all I remember of that World Cup was
he said
U.S. beat Italy that year.
I remember that. That was crazy. I do, man. I like World Cup, man. Y'all need to, you know, get outside of your means. You know, a lot of us is just used to 3 sports, really 4 sports if you count NASCAR. You know, but you really got to look outside of that and look at these other sports. The Olympics just came around. People invest in what your country's doing. Invest in the World Games and what's being done around the world, and how we are, instead of going to war all the time, how in other ways are we competing? You know, and the World Cup is actually pretty cool. It's going to be in Russia. U.S. didn't qualify this year, but hey, you know, a lot of times you got to get back to the drawing board. In my opinion, the women's U.S. team is more dominant anyway than the men's U.S. team. Go ahead, women's USA team. Y'all representing gold medals around the posse. You know what I mean? Every time they go somewhere, hey, we take that gold. Yeah. We take that gold.
Go whip China's ass this year.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Represent, do your thing, man. So, you know, I really think that the U.S. women's team, hell, the U.S. Women's hockey team, bravo and congratulations with that damn goal representing. So, y'all show and prove, man. Show and prove. Any and all this debate about, you know, the non-equal pay and all that, that's just some old rickety boo, old boys club shit. So, y'all keep battling for that because everybody needs to get paid. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that men or women, because he's a man, I should get paid for doing the same sport. A collision is a collision. Mm-hmm. The puck is a puck. Right. The shit hurts if it hits you.
Oh, yeah.
The pain don't lessen. You know what I'm saying? I go home with the same bruises, got to sit in the same fucking ice tub and do everything, man. So why is it because it's a gender, you get paid less?
It's return revenue.
Well,
unfortunately,
if you look at ROI,
that's the unfortunate part of it, right?
That is true. But and if you do, then you would have to say who's bringing it more: the women's U.S. team or the men's U.S. team. I'm gonna say the women's U.S. team because they've been dominating.
No,
they've been dominating. I know you saying world is soccer.
Women's soccer view, right? It's
view more. But in America, I would have to say the women's U.S. is getting more shine and more viewers than the men.
They're probably starting to now
because of the success.
Yes, they probably are starting to now. Yes, but it has to continue, and you have to overtake, or your ratings need to equal to
or surpass
them for a number of years, and your advertiser dollars have to say, I no longer want to be on the men's sports side, I want to pay or to be on the women's side, and then that money gets put into the women's side of the sport.
It would be interesting to see on that, like you said, that sponsor dollars, because the sponsor dollars do go a long way.
Yes, that's what it's all about. If the women's sports has no money to pay their players, they're going to pay them what they have to pay them with.
So you're saying that there's more sponsors for men's soccer than women's soccer?
At this point, yes. At this point, yes. That's the breakdown. Is it unfair? No, because that's how the business is. Does it suck? Yes. If you want to make a difference, if you want to make a true difference, tell the people, you know, watch a men's sport, or, you know, men's soccer and a women's soccer. See who's advertising on the men and not advertising on the women, and go tell those sponsors, I'm no longer shopping for you, with you, for your products until you start sponsoring the women's side, and then make them spend that money for the women. And that's how you make a difference. Protesting the government makes no sense, makes no difference, because they don't control that. It's the advertising dollars.
Right.
That's where it comes from.
They got to go after them.
Right. And that's where you make a difference. That's where you make a true difference.
Remember when we said shouting?
Yeah.
Like we said on the NRA? Don't shout at the NRA, you go to your politicians. So learn to turn it the right direction, and that's who you scream at.
Correct.
You know,
and it's not about, you don't need to shout. You need to spend your dollars correctly.
You need to spend them right.
That's what it is.
You gotta spend
That's
them
the
right.
shouting they will hear.
We got to unify, people. Unify. We are so strong individually, but we need to start bringing communities together so we can unify, create unity.
Right.
And then only when we do have unity as a collective, that's when we'll start having power.
Correct.
That's how it is. So we are moving.
Yep.
We're strolling along here. With that said, with the gambling here, we have some music.
Yes.
Which we're always, music. You know, whether it's good or not, you know, it's always a chance on the sense where, you know, we're gambling on what we're going to get here.
Absolutely. That's the best part. That's why I love doing the music assignments, because you just never know what you're going to get.
Right.
You could be kind of a part of, and you know, you just have to. In our sense, you grin and bear it, and you'll either enjoy it, or you just grin and bear it for that week, and you learn from it and you move on. It's all good.
Indeed. So we do have on this one, we had Lord.
Yes.
That was yours.
So I had Lord.
And I had Once. Which is a movie. The movie was still looking. Haven't watched that yet. I will watch that, like I did say.
Yeah.
However, I did listen to the soundtrack, which was I thought the soundtrack was more acoustic.
Yes, it is very, very acoustic.
And it had more of duets. I thought it was a good soundtrack. It was a pretty mellow soundtrack.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Once you watch the movie, you will understand the soundtrack more.
Right. And
it coincides.
Like I said, a really signature song was the falling apart. What was that song called? Falling
Softly.
Falling Softly.
Yep.
Yeah, that was it.
Yep.
That's actually the first track when you open it up. Real cool.
Yep.
The guitar comes in real laid back, and when it comes to being something real acoustic, melodic, laid back, you right down my avenue, man. You right down my avenue. It's so jazzy with it. So yeah, I actually found it pretty easy to listen to. It was actually easier than Tom Jones, and the reason I say that is Tom Jones is he can keep your party going.
Yeah.
Okay, Tom Jones has some energy in his music, and I don't want to say hype like a Little John. That might be the wrong word, but Tom Jones actually does bring me a little vibe. Wants to keep it going there. You know what I'm saying? You get that little Don Juan vibe. You got that Tom Jones going on. You want to sit back with the lady, just start, hey baby, it's good. I go around, I travel, and you want to spit that noise.
He's almost like the white Barry White.
Yeah, man. He put you in a something. So with this one here, it's just like some real ride music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's real ride music. Now, this is ride music on a particular day.
Yes.
Pink Floyd's album is ride music too.
Yeah.
On a different day.
Yes.
It is. I could listen to one in some rain. I could listen to one, going down Pacific Coast Highway.
Right.
It holds its own, man. It holds its own, really duetty and a really acoustic album. Yeah. Not bad at all. Yeah. At all.
Yeah.
So and you had Lord.
So on my side, I had Lord. She's good. She's not great. Not terrible.
Right.
If I had to put words to it, I would say it's if Wednesday Addams had an album, it would be Lord.
Okay.
She doesn't, the same look, same sound. Like she has a beautiful voice, but no emotion behind that voice.
Right.
Like all her songs are here. They sit here, and they don't move from this spot.
Right.
Where it's all at. The music production behind it is great.
Right.
Because it's very jazzy, it's very tempo, it's very pop. But she's right here. It's where she sits.
Right.
I mean, maybe that's where she's at. She has no range, but she's there. So, I can see why kids nowadays on Ritalin and Adderall like her, because she's right here. It's very emotional. It's very so it's easy to follow.
Right. She is. She is easy. The words is real clean.
Yeah, it's very clean.
And I like that when you can hear an artist, because I can't stand that mumble rap shit.
Yeah.
Mumble, talks so that fast when you just sound like a music full of ad-libs.
Right.
Well, what? Yeah. Oh, okay. As long as my child start walking around the house like that, I might have to think they got a speech impediment or something. Something's wrong. We might have to diagnose you right quick.
For sure.
But, that's neither here or there. So definitely. But this challenge I did have for you this week is we know Drake. Those of you that watch basketball, you see the guy sitting on the court side.
Right.
But I want to take you back to one of Drake's nicest joints when he came out. It's there's So Far Gone and Thank Me Later.
Okay.
But I like both of them. But I would probably say So Far Gone put them right.
Okay.
And then Thank Me Later just took them on the next step to getting to staying there.
Okay.
So I do want to say here, I want to give you the So Far Gone album with Drake.
Okay.
He got many, but the So Far Gone album's nice.
Okay.
With him on that one.
Sounds good. I like that. So, for my assignment for you. So I've taken you the last 3 assignments, I guess, have been on a European tour, so to speak.
Yeah.
Went from Germany to Wales to Ireland, so kind of
eclectic tour.
Yeah. So what I decided this time, I was trying to what to give you to like really bring you around to really start the next journey. So I say, what artist? And I say, wait, there's an area I'm overlooking. It's the essentials of white music, right? The one-hit wonder. So what I did, I made you a mixtape of some of the greater one-hit wonders throughout history, I guess, so to speak. I wouldn't go so far back. You may not consider him a one-hit wonder, so to speak, but kind of is. I went back to Carl Perkins.
Okay.
He did a song, Blue Suede Shoes.
Basketball player?
No. Blue Suede Shoes.
Oh.
Yes, Elvis did Blue Suede Shoes. Carl Perkins did it first and did it better.
Okay.
So it goes for everything from Blue Suede Shoes all the way to, where do I have it, in Corey Hart, which is in the 80s.
Okay.
So there's a mix in there. There's some Southern rock. There's some surfer music. No really country. This is more like on the rock pop side of things. Though there, surprisingly, I actually inadvertently put a song in there. It was supposed to be "Slow Ride" by Foghat, but actually was a song that I mixed together for Horse Drill. So we'll see how you take to that one.
Okay.
It's a mix on a mix song. So we'll see how you take on that one. But it's a bunch of one-hit wonders throughout the time that will kind of they'll give you a history of Caucasian white music, whatever.
We got sort of like a one-hit wonder too within the hip hop world.
Yeah.
JJ Fad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll touch on that one.
There you go.
JJ Fad.
There you go.
And that's one-hit wonder. There's a lot of them out there. JJ Fad's one of them.
Sure.
Yeah, that was it. Supersonic. Yeah, Supersonic.
Okay.
JJ Fad.
Okay.
One-hit wonder.
All right.
Actually, I think Milli Vanilli actually lasted longer than JJ Fad.
Yeah, but Milli Vanilli had about 3 or 4 hits. So that's the other thing. So Corey Hart. So I'm saying, well, Corey Hart's not a one-hit wonder. Well, he had 2 hits. So he's a 2-hit wonder. So there's a couple, maybe it might be some 2-hit wonders, or one-hit wonder, but yeah, it's a one-hit wonder journey through history of music, on the pop rock side. Not so much rock. There's a lot more pop because pop is easier to be one-hit wonder on. But some of the songs you may have heard, some of them you may not have. Which I'm hoping it's going to give you a real good history and learnings on the on this side of the aisle of music.
Okay, word up. So yeah, we're gonna definitely enjoy that one. And we have one more, which is our brackets.
Yes.
All right. So as you know, every show, we talk about our sports. We got the bracket thing going on because that's what's popping right now. Sports bracket March Madness. Hence the gambling. Hence, we talk big money about this show and everything. So, as you know, we already had our brackets of the sports team of all times. So we took, various sports teams, we bracketed them up. So now we're in the second round of picking out our winners.
Yeah. So the top college teams of all times.
Yes.
So I think last time we shared with you our seeding. So we're going to share with you the next 2, and then you shared the winners and losers. So the bracketing ended up with 78 Michigan versus 82 Houston.
Yep.
56 San Francisco Dons.
Yep.
Versus 84 Hoyers.
Yep.
That's on the one side. On the other side, we had the 89 UNLV Rebels. That was the Jayhawks. Sorry, 88 Jayhawks.
Kansas. Yep.
Versus the 90 UNLV Rebels. 68 UCLA Bruins versus the 82 UNC Michael Jordan's team. So from those, we pick winners. So the first team, 78 Michigan, which is Magic, versus 82 Houston, which is Clyde Drexler, Keem Olajuwon.
Yep.
Right? So we went with the 82 Houston Cougars. We felt Magic wasn't just quite in it to take out both Drexler and Akeem Olajuwon. Just couldn't do it.
That's that Phi Sigma Jamma.
Yeah. This next one I think was probably one of the closer of the ones we were picking. That 56 San Francisco Dons versus the 84 Hoyas. So 84 Hoyas is Patrick Ewing, Reggie Williams, a very dominant team. 56 San Francisco Dons, undefeated, and Bill Russell. It's like just a close matchup.
It's tough.
We felt the 84 Hoyas would just take it to, they had more heart than what.
Aggressiveness and guard play and then domination down low. You got to keep in mind, guard play is very important. With all teams is very important.
Yeah.
Some teams just have better guard play and more paint dominance.
No, I think of all of our matchups, that would be the most interesting team. Bill Russell versus Patrick Ewing. That would be something to watch.
Yeah, it would be. For real.
Next we had we said Jayhawks versus UNLV. We went that with 90 UNLV because again that was Larry Johnson, big man on the floor.
Classicness. Stacey Augman, David Axel.
Manning and the Miracles, it was a hell of a team, but they did have 11 losses in their win.
Right.
So UNLV is just going to dominate over a team who loses 11 times. Next, you have 68 UCLA versus 82 UNC. Who's going to beat Michael Jordan? Well, I have to tell you this: it's going to be Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is going to meet Michael Jordan every day. Every day. I had to tell you, it's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
And the 82, and Jordan was not dominant in college.
Right.
Like he was dominant in the NBA.
Right.
College Jordan is different from NBA Jordan.
Right.
Go back and look at the tape. Watch the film. You will see Jordan did not handle the ball like he handled when he got to the NBA. Right. He wasn't the point man. He was the number 2.
Right. Well, he was freshman at the time. So.
He was right.
So he was still fresh to college. Right. Whereas 68 UCLA, that's just, they were all around. They went 7 consistent titles in a row. 68 was their second title, so they were at their peak.
Plus, he was in a movie with Bruce Lee, man.
Right?
Come on, man. Bruce Lee. 6-inch punch.
Yeah.
Ah! Come on, man.
Yeah. So again, we picked 68 UCLA. Mm-hmm. So our final show in 2 weeks, we're gonna go 82 Houston versus 84 Hoyas, and the 90 UNLV versus 68 UCLA.
Dun dun dun!
Who's gonna come out on top?
Right.
Find out next show.
Share your views if you want.
Yeah.
Because it's always open for discussion.
Yeah.
Like barbershop discussions.
And next show is actually an exciting one, I think. It's going to be our autism awareness, because April is Autism Awareness Month.
Yes.
I have my good close friend, Brian Jenkins. That's right. The Brian Jenkins is going to be in studio with us.
Yep.
He is a high-level autism. He's going to talk about his struggles and his successes with his, I don't want to say battle or fight with autism, because there was no fight. He's just Brian. He's a cool dude. He's not special. He's a straight up guy. He likes to sing. He likes his ways. He's set in his ways. He's Brian. You'll see. Come and watch. Enjoy Brian Jenkins with us in studio in 2 weeks.
Yes. So, like we like to say, man, always appreciate you guys just giving 5 minutes of your time. You know what I'm saying? So definitely want to look for another 5 minutes in the next 2 weeks. Until then, tune in to the BMW show. Keep up on your March Madness, your bracket talk and everything. And you know Roseanne's out. You
Yeah,
watch Roseanne?
I did.
I need to watch Roseanne, man. That's a hit from back in the day when we was coming up, man.
I enjoyed the two shows.
Yeah, it's funny.
Good. Yeah,
it is funny.
Yeah.
It's talking about some new shit, but yeah. Watch Roseanne, man. You know the Roseanne's grandson. He's a character.
Yeah,
he's a character.
Yeah.
He's a boy confused, but I guess that's how they.
I don't think he's confused.
That's no. It's no. He don't show him confused, but it's confusion around him and how to approach him. So, little twist with new age stuff, but definitely watch it. But once again, Phoenix FB family, want to thank you. Y'all stay up.
We apologize for the inconvenience.
Always. Bet.